What is up, guys, and welcome. We are here for a very special episode. Then we are ready for the legendary drivers. Of course, this was recorded in August 2024. This is when the legendary drivers for the 2024 update were released. So it's been a long time since I've recorded this. But I've just never gotten around to uploading this. But we are now ready then, and ready to finally put these into action. But yes, we do have legendary drivers in store for us here. Just going through some of these free crates, gathering some, just some random loot here. But there's a lot of stuff we can grab here. You can go through the news here. We do have a gold crate from our previous race that we did get there, getting some bucks, getting some wing, getting some Hulkenberg, getting some gearbox, and getting some rear wing. But now let's get to the good stuff, shall we? We have a lot of things to do, and the first thing we do is unlock a new legendary driver, Gerhard Berger. I'm not sure how to say his name, but I think that's how you say it. One of the new drivers for F1 Clash 2024. But we have plenty of things. You can still see we have legacy points. This is the new, of course, currency that was introduced in 2024 for these legendary drivers, which I wasn't exactly a huge fan of, but I mean, I get the point of it, so, but it's alright. But anyways, as we all know, the legendary drivers, of course, gave us this option to upgrade them, and the way you got these points was through upgrading your other assets. And speaking of assets, we got a new one in the form of Mark Webber. So very, very nice to see another Australian on the grid. And you can see confirming we have to use legacy points and coins to upgrade these legendary drivers, with Berger costing 2,000 coins and 1,000 legacy points. Right now we're claiming a lot of the stuff that we could claim earlier. Of course, this was just released when I recorded this, so we have to just claim all these while we can here. We have a lot of crates to go through as well here, so getting some very, very nice assets that we could hopefully use to get more collection milestones here, getting more Mark Webber, getting more coins, getting more crates. I've always, enjoyed doing this. And while, I do sometimes think that the upgrading phase has been very, very hard in this game, it has been rewarding as well, and this is a good way to reward it. The problem, of course, will be when we get into the later stages where it takes a lot longer to get between each milestone, and it becomes a bit of a slog to try and get these guys. But anyways, we claimed the final things that we needed there at the moment. Getting the crates last here, getting some extra bucks here, getting some more assets for these guys. We have one more gold crate to open there. Let's see what we get in this gold crate here. We get some wing, some brakes, some gearbox, some Bottas, and the final thing is epic Hulkenberg. But that is all the things we actually have to upgrade here. We had some very nice assets from there, and we can upgrade the Zenith, not because we're going to use it, but we can actually get some more collection points, as we can see in this table right here. The epic, of course, give the most, but of course they're the rarest to find. The commons give the least, but they are the easiest to find here. So for a guy, let's say Science there, who we could upgrade to level 6 if we had the money, we don't, but it would count. You can see we have 3,000 legacy points there. We can't get any more. Apparently you could get them from the pit pass, but that was actually never a feature in F1 Clash 2024. Me speaking from the future, from F1 Clash 2025, it actually is a thing. You remember, as we in the previous years, or I guess say previous years, F1 Clash 2023, you could use legendary drivers in the event. So the same thing has been carried over there. Also with the legendary drivers, even though they are upgradable, they do not count towards the collection milestones. And these upgrades do some serious damage. You can see +6 to every category. Now, to be fair, they're only, I think, upgraded to level 7, which makes sense compared to some of the other assets that you could get from the regular collections, which is up to level 11 for common, level 9 for rare, level 8 for epic. So it's level 7 here, and they're also a lot harder to get as well. But you can see we spent quite a bit there on Mark Webber here. We can get some more potential legacy points if we do upgrade here. And we have very easy things to upgrade as well. These are things we just simply have not upgraded just because we haven't had the money for that. But now we do have the money for it. We have over 600k in the bank then to use here. And of course, just looking through to see what we can just upgrade for super cheap amounts there. And the easiest one right there is using that first engine, which literally just costs 2,000 gold. Getting this suspension, which just costs 6,000 gold here. Getting this Zenith, which only costs 8,000, despite the fact it is an epic, and that's going to be beautiful because we get our another award here. Despite the fact that we have an iPhone maybe too close warning, we get some more ballast boosts, which is very nice. Of course, helpful that we get those as well. We can upgrade this Cold Fusion, which is 300,000, but it does give 12 collection points, which could be helpful in the future. But as for these drivers as well, there is a lot we could do. That Bottas is 800,000, which is really expensive there. This Perez is 190,000, gives us 6 collection points, which is a decent bargain, so we can take that for now, considering the fact, remember, Science was about $1 billion pounds. Coins. I don't know why I said pounds for some reason. That was so out of context. But anyways, looking through the rest of the upgrades here, there is another one here, 6,000 coins, very easy here, very easy points just to grab. 22,000 for this wing here, very nice. These are only small snippets that we could do, but we can just upgrade them just because they're super cheap. It doesn't really matter that much. We only have 300-something thousand to go, so we'll have to be careful about what we spend here. But right now, we're just trying to get through most of these collection milestones as quickly as we can here. Easiest thing to do here is this engine, 8,000 coins, 4 points. We should be able to get a platinum crate, which is very nice. We have not gotten a lot of these at all here. Getting some more engine, getting some more suspension, getting some more gearbox, some more Bottas, some more suspension that we actually just recently upgraded, and more Hulkenberg. But another really cool thing that the game gave us, which is the Legends of Rise crate. This thing is crazy good. If you ever get it, it gives you a huge amount of assets then. So you definitely, if you ever see it in a pit pass or in the shop, if you have the resources, of course, do spend it. Of course, I am a free-to-play player. I do not like to spend money on microtransactions, but immediate payoff. We get a epic Kevin Magnussen, which is a very nice guy to get. We also get some more Sargent as well, and we get more Mark Webber. So this is also where we can get legendary drivers through crates. They have to, of course, be through special crates, but this is a potential way where you can use it. And just like that there, we do have a potential to get some more legendary drivers through crates, and then if we ever need to upgrade them, we can use those assets as well. And speaking of upgrade, we're also going to upgrade Webber to level 4 here, so immediately having a huge impact. And look at the stat updates. Well, you saw that for about half a second, but you can definitely see that upgrading these drivers has a huge benefit. And we're only going to do one race this time around just because there was a lot of content to go through, but for this time around, we are going to be using one of these drivers. We're going to be using Mark Webber then. And going into the qualifying, then it's going to be Russell and Webber, P18, P19. So, but remember, holy English. Webber has a good race start, as does Russell. So this could actually be very interesting off the start. We'll see how Webber performs in his first race here. We have plenty of boosts now, thanks to the fact that the collection milestones gave us plenty of them, especially the ballast ones with 67 of them. Very nice to see for now. But we're going to use some pretty strong boosts, or we are looking to use some pretty strong boosts. We're going to end up giving Hex to Webber and Downforce to Russell, and we'll see how this ends up as we go to 5 red lights. Then for the Chinese Grand Prix, lights out, and away we go. Fast start for both these guys, which is exactly what we needed, and Russell is flying through the field, immediately up into P14, then can he make a move into the hairpin? Can he barge his way through? It's a bit of a concertina effect there, unfortunately, but we managed to get through there unscathed. And Russell is trying to make a move on the outside. The guys switch positions here. Webber on the medium tires, they switch positions again in the left hand, but now they make the moves very nice. And look at Webber sliding through the field on those medium tires. That Hex boost is working beautifully then for the Australian. Then as we make our way through onto the long back straight, P12 for Russell, P13 then for Mark Webber. Very good start for both of these guys as Webber then makes his way, and Russell make the way through the hairpin. Then Russell makes his potential, nope, misses out, P12 and P13 for so far. But yeah, so this is Legendary Drivers in F1 Clash 2024. Of course, a very welcome addition with, of course, some changes compared to last year. And I did like the Legendary Drivers last year. I mean, they were very nice. They were a very nice addition then to the game. I felt like, it was a way for us to unlock some new drivers without, having to break the bank. And I do remember in F1 Clash 2023, the Legendary Drivers were they were a bit interesting, I would say. I mean, remember they were not upgradable. They were simply put where they were, and they were pretty decent drivers. We had some great drivers and some not so great drivers, but they all were a very nice addition to the game. But one thing that I definitely think this year has done better, I do still argue the fact that these microtransactions are very, very expensive, but I vividly remember that in the collection milestones for F1 Clash 2023, it became very redundant in the case that you needed many, many collection points, especially once you got deeper into the system, to even get to the next level. Like, it took a lot of collection points. Like, I remember looking through that, and there was one, I think, clip I watched where there was one guy who had to go from like level, like, he was very deep into the hundreds, and it looked like there were so many collection milestones. Now, to be fair, of course, last year's upgrade, the costs were much, much lower, so you could probably afford to spend a lot of that and be totally fine with it. So this is probably the balancing effect, where because this year has been so much more expensive to upgrade, they've closed down the gap between each level. So it is a welcome feature. It might just be a blessing in disguise, even though, again, still the upgrades are very, very expensive. But also in terms of the legendary driver layout, it has been very nice. There have been more legendary drivers introduced into this game. Hopefully we can get them throughout the year, but there have been more. Remember, last year there were only 8. Now, again, to be fair, since last year there were only 8, it was their first year doing it, so you do have to cut them a bit of slack. They just started this out. Who knows if it would have been a good decision or not, and it ended up being a good decision. It gave a lot of variety to the game, so I think it's going to be very nice to see what kind of more drivers they can release. And in terms of the legacy points, I know I originally said they're not that great, and I still stand by that. They're kind of a gimmick, if you really ask me. Like, maybe we could have just used coins. Like, again, I get the point that using these legacy points is a way to upgrade these unique legendary drivers. It's the only way you can upgrade these unique legendary drivers. If they didn't have it, then you're just upgrading them like normal drivers, and these are not normal drivers. These are drivers with a good storied history in Formula 1. So I do get the idea that these legacy points are needed for just a bit of variety, add a new currency into the game, but it also promotes so many extra microtransactions. Like, I said, get those Legends of Rise crits when you can, but the problem is, like, a lot of people play this game just for fun. They don't really like to spend a lot of money on it. I mean, again, if you're making a lot of money and you have the resources to spend, I'm like, there's no problem with that. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, don't go spending it in F1 Clash, but it's just, maybe it's not worth it. I'm not sure, but regardless of that, it's been very good. And well, while this has been all happening, the race has been very, very calm for us. Weber has been doing a fantastic job here with these hex boosts there. Russell's been doing a very, very solid as well here with those downforce boosts here. He is on the soft tires. We had a two-stop race for both of these guys, so it's very good in the end of it. Russell's making his way through, and yeah, so this will be interesting to see how the rest of the guys show up here. We of course, remember, we do have Berger that we also unlocked as well, so we may use him in an extra episode in the future as well. But in terms of what I wanted to talk about today, that is it. I wanted to do this and then just talk a bit about the legendary driver. So that's going to be it then. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next episode. We have done many F1 Clash 2024 episodes recently, so hopefully we can keep this up in the future. So across the line then, a very, very nice win. Weber got the fastest lap, to no surprise there. He was absolutely flying. And yeah, another win, and we are getting ever closer to Series 5, and hopefully with these legendary drivers it will be much, much easier in the future. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next episode.